How wealthy people get out of a bad mood. Have you ever noticed that some people seem to recover from a bad day faster than others? Not because they never feel sad, not because they never struggle, but because they know how to leave the loop. And that's what I want to talk about today. The loop of feeling stuck. The loop of overthinking. The loop of waiting for motivation. Because here's something I've learned about successful people. They don't spend all their energy trying to avoid bad moods. They simply become very good at moving through them. And honestly, I get into bad moods too. Sometimes I wake up feeling unmotivated. Sometimes my energy drops. Sometimes I don't feel like working. Sometimes I don't feel like creating. And when that happens, I don't sit here waiting for motivation to magically arrive. I help myself. One thing I do that surprises a lot of people is this. I give myself the reward first. Yes, the reward comes first, not after. Most productivity advice says, finish the task, then reward yourself. But I've noticed something about myself. When my emotional battery is empty, forcing myself rarely works. So sometimes I buy myself a small treat. Maybe I order food I enjoy. Maybe I get myself something nice. Maybe I create a small moment of comfort. And then I do the work, because I'm not trying to trick myself. I'm supporting myself. The important part is trust. I trust myself. When I say I'm going to do something later, I do it. I know I will. And because I feel good, the work often gets done better, with more creativity, more focus, less resistance. And I think many people underestimate this. A good mood isn't laziness. A good mood is fuel. Another thing I do when I feel stuck is incredibly simple. I walk. Not for fitness, not for calories, not for steps. I simply walk. Sometimes through local markets, sometimes through quiet streets, sometimes through places where people are living their ordinary lives. I look at fruit stands, flowers, buildings, children laughing, people buying groceries. Nothing extraordinary, and somehow it helps. But here's the secret. Go alone. Not with your friend, not with your mother, and not with your partner. Alone. A-L-O-N-E. Because when you're alone, your mind begins to breathe again. You start hearing your own thoughts. You stop performing. You stop entertaining. You stop explaining yourself. You simply exist. And something starts moving inside you. Your body moves. Your energy moves. Your emotion moves. And suddenly, the things that felt impossible an hour ago doesn't feel so impossible anymore. Sometimes, the most productive things you can do is take a walk. And then there's exercise. Honestly, this one is hard. Especially when you're overwhelmed. Especially when you're sad. Especially when your mind is telling you to stay in bed. For me, one of the hardest things is opening YouTube and pressing play on a workout video when I don't feel like it. But I've learned a trick. I tell myself, you don't have to do it perfectly. You don't have to look graceful. You don't have to finish the whole thing. Just move. Maybe it's 10 minutes. Maybe it's yoga. Maybe it's Pilates. Maybe it's stretching. Just let your body remember that it's life. Because movement creates energy. Waiting creates more waiting. Movement creates momentum. Another thing that helps me is changing my clothes. And I know this sounds small, but clothes affect us more than we realize. They become a second skin. They change how we carry ourselves, how we sit, how we speak, how we feel. So when I'm having a difficult day, sometimes I simply change. I brush my hair, I put on clothes that makes me feel comfortable, confident, elegant. I love elegant feeling. Maybe a little makeup, maybe some jewelry. Nothing dramatic, just enough to remind myself I am still me. Then I looked in the mirror and I smile. Not because everything is perfect, but because I'm still here. And sometimes that's enough. But there is one practice that affects me more deeply than all the others. Looking at childhood photos. If you never tried this, I want you to do it. Find a picture of yourself as a child. Sit quietly. Look into those little eyes. And imagine talking to that child. Tell them, "Hi, it's me. It's us. Remember when you wondered that we would become? Well, this is who we became. We are still here. We are still trying. We are still learning. We are still growing. And yes, some things were hard. Some things hurt. Some dream changed. But look at us. We survived. We made it this far. And I promise I'm taking care of you now. You're safe. You're loved. I'm not leaving you. Sometimes we don't need motivation. Sometimes we need reassurance. Sometimes we need to remember that there is still a child inside us who simply wants to know everything will be okay. And finally, nature. When life feels heavy, I go outside. I sit with trees. I touch the earth. I look at the sky. And sometimes I talk. Not to people, to nature, to the wind, to the earth, to God, to life itself. I tell it what hurts. I ask for help. I ask for guidance. And whether nature answers or not, I always leave feeling lighter. Because the natural world has a way of reminding us that everything moves in cycles. Storm pass, season change, flowers blooming again, and so do we. So if you're in a bad mood today, don't panic, don't judge yourself, don't assume something is wrong with you. Just help yourself. Take a walk, move your body, change your clothes, talk to your younger self, spend time in nature, give yourself a reason to feel better. Because successful people don't have fewer bad days. They simply know how to find their way back. Before you go, I have a small invitation for you. Leave a comment below and tell me what is your favorite way to get out of a bad mood. I read every comment. Starting from this episode, I'll be choosing some of your comments and mentioning your names in future episodes of Silent Luxury. So don't be a silent listener today. I love to hear your story. This is Silent Luxury, where we stop apologizing for wanting a beautiful life.